Buddy Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And producer Jared, if you're listening, we got no Twitch stream, but we'll get that up here soon. And we got a lot to talk about here today on the program. Last night, of course, was the go-home show for the Clash in Paris. WWE PLE, the last WWE PLE on Peacock. That is coming up this weekend, August 31st. And we got 5 matches announced for the show. We'll go over that. And, of course, we will talk about everything going on from Raw on Monday night. It was a Manchester Raw. And a lot of build for the Clash in Paris show. Thought it was a pretty good show. We'll talk about that. We've also got a lot of updates on the whole situation with Psycho, Stu, and Raja Jackson, and all of the latest as of today. Update on Swerve and Will Ospreay, SmackDown ratings. Queen Aminata is stuck in the United Kingdom. We'll tell you what happened there. And we've got plenty of other news as well. Lance Storm is going to join us here today. So if you want to talk to us, text messages, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4W Online at gmail.com. F4W Online, Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. And I'm at Bryan Alvarez X and Blue Sky. So plenty of news to get into. NXT is also tonight. We'll go over the lineup for that show. And as of right now, still zilch for Dynamite on Wednesday. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Right, take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
Do you think something's out the front door?
Is he ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't.
Let me in! Let me in!
It's fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm.
Do you think?
But it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
in there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, Click like and subscribe. Back at the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm joining us here today. We got a lot of news to get into, and let's start with the latest on what's going on with Roger Jackson's Psycho Stu. So after saying he wanted to help out Psycho Stu in the wake of Roger Jackson's attack, YouTuber Mr. Beast has followed through with a big donation. For those of you that don't know Mr. Beast, I guess you're old like me, but I got kids. He is I guess he's the biggest YouTuber in the world. He's got like 1 billion followers or some crazy, 420 million. So I only half exaggerated. 420 million subscribers, most subscribed to channel on all of YouTube. And he said he wanted to help out. And there is a GoFundMe for Stu. I've linked it up on my Twitter at Bryan Alvarez. And they were looking to raise about 65,000. They're already at 90,000. Mr. Beast put in 10,000 of that 90,000. And, he's going to have, obviously, he's going to need a lot more than 90,000. But he is a veteran. And, my
military veteran.
Military veteran. My father is a veteran, and man, he gets a lot paid for. So hopefully, a lot of that will be offset by the fact that he's a military veteran. But he's still going to need, so much money. It's great to see 90,000 raised so far, and Jericho made $2,500 donation. Swerve made a $1,000 donation. A lot of other wrestlers have made donations as well. So there is apparently an investigation by the LAPD. The folks on the chat very skeptical of the LAPD being in charge of this. And as far as like an investigation goes, this is one of those stories where, even something like what happened with the Young Bucks and CM Punk brawl out. It's like, I wasn't there, but we did hear from like everybody, and we got a pretty good idea of what happened in the story, because like there's a side of the story about what happened, and then there's like the other side doesn't even dispute a lot of it. So, but I wasn't there, but we piece it together through. This is nothing like that. This entire thing from start to finish was filmed. They filmed, this guy filmed everything for his kick or whatever it's called. From showing up and the initial beer can deal, and then, getting angry all night, being told to give the guy a receipt, filming himself getting more and more angry, filming himself saying what he's going to do, the actual footage. It's all there. So I don't understand how this would be a difficult investigation. It's all right there. But anyway, so far, I've heard nothing about anything, any arrests or anything. Just there is an investigation.
Well, I think with the nature of pro wrestling, there needs to be an investigation to determine what is real, what is fake, what was agreed upon, what was not. Like, if you're just an LAPD guy that doesn't know a lot about wrestling, and you go, oh, hey, there was a altercation in a wrestling ring, and a guy got hospitalized from it, you're going to have to do some investigation beyond what you just saw on camera to find out if there was an agreement of some kind made ahead of time.
And by the way, this person's saying hopefully the footage was saved somewhere. because he was banned on Kick. Bro, this footage was everywhere. I mean, I didn't even see it on. I don't even know what Kick is. I'm 50. I watched it on YouTube, and there's, I mean, all over you. Everyone's got the video, and I'm sure people have ripped it off YouTube. I mean, it's the video is not going to disappear. It's out there. And there was another video up on YouTube that I watched most of yesterday, and it was an interview with Doug. And this is kind of interesting because it's an interview with Doug Mallow, who is the Epic. That's his wrestling name. And he was the guy that jumped in and took out Raja. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you remember on Sunday, there was a wrestler interviewed, I think, for USA Today, and he said that that Stu was on the way home, and it turned out that wasn't the case. And I think that people thought that maybe he was making it up or something like that. I think that was also Doug Mallow. I think that he was probably told that Stu was on the way home, and that's why he said what he said, even though it ended up not being true. But if you watch this interview with Doug Mallow, this is not a guy who is standing up for the promotion. This is not a guy who is trying to, like, downplay any of this. I mean, he essentially said, I was told by the promotion, like, he was told about the beer can incident. He was told that the guys had seemingly made up. He was told that Raja was going to hit the ring for a spot. And he was told to be out there to, like, keep an eye on things. But he says, like, they told me that, and they didn't tell me anything else. They didn't tell me, like, when it was going to be or what it was going to be or what I'm looking for or when I'm... He said they didn't tell me anything, which if you watch the 2-hour video, it's pretty clear. Nobody told anybody anything, okay? So he said he's standing there, and he sees the big slam. And in hindsight, he wishes he would have just jumped in then. But he saw, like, the first 3 punches, and then he starts trying to get people out of the way to take this guy out. And he manages to pull the guy off, and he says, like, I'm trying to calm this dude down, and he's trying to fight me. I'm not even fighting him. I didn't do anything to this guy, and he's trying to take me out. And so finally he, like, ends up headbutting this guy, and then everyone else kind of jumps in and bulls him into the corner. But this Doug Mallow is furious. He's like, all people do is talk about how Stu is family. Well, where the heck was this guy's family? What are we doing here where they cover the guy and they pin him? He's furious, and he's got screenshots. He goes, from the top, they're telling everybody, don't talk to the police. If the police ask you questions, don't answer. Like, I mean, this is not a guy who's trying to, like, stand up for the company. He's furious with the company. He's furious with how it was handled. He's furious with how it's being handled. And he's the only guy that went in there to, like, he's not the only guy, but he was the guy that, like, started trying to save this dude's life. And it wasn't until, like, he pulled the guy off that other people started jumping in. So he ain't happy at all. And he's very upset, actually. He said he's more upset with AJ Mana than he is with even Raja. Because even though Raja did it, and he said, like, I'm certain this guy was gonna kill the dude. And if I pulled him off, and he tried to take down Doug, but I guess Doug's, like, he's trained in MMA, and this guy couldn't take him down. And he goes, if this guy would have taken me down, I'm pretty sure he was going to try and kill me too. But he said, all that aside, like, the guy I'm most angry with is this AJ Mana. Because AJ had a problem with Stu, he said. AJ's the guy that brought this guy to the building, Raja Jackson, and he's the guy that told him, go get the receipt. And, of course, AJ Mana put out a statement, and he said that, what I said on the video about giving the guy a receipt and everything like that, he said that was just me being in character, speaking in the language of wrestling. He's claiming he didn't want him to go out there and hurt the guy. And obviously, like, a lot of people are very skeptical of that if you watch the video. But, that's that video is available up there right now if you want to go watch it. But, as of today, that's the latest. There's a GoFundMe. A lot of people donating. Stu is still in really bad shape. You know, I guess he's having trouble communicating. He's having trouble walking. Was in critical care. May still be in critical care. I mean, it's bad. So we're going to get Lance thoughts on everything after the break, everybody. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Let's do this unnecessary censorship.
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just your ass.
That was terrible. Horrible. They weren't the Heart Foundation. They weren't the British Bulldogs, okay? They're two geeks. And this celebration these guys did.
Oh.
I mean, they're like, Sean, give me brother. Yeah!
A place like that?
You two dorks. That's what you did. Why are you so excited?
Because they're awesome.
Okay. That was better than the first one.
It picked up at the end there.
Chaos.
Unnecessary censorship.
He beat him, and 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 he beat him. I'm sweating.
Time to stop.
And he beat him,
Was this edited?
and then he beat him, and he
I don't
beat
think so.
him. I actually wore that shirt. It just says he beat him, he beat him, he beat him all the way down. Like,
All the way down, you say?
I dropped her off at camp, and the camp counselor just looks at me. She goes, "He beat him and beat him." I was like, "Gag gift."
Brian, would you for me again this week? It's too hot to do much.
That's true. It is too hot to do much.
I guess I just better do it because it came up for me.
I'll wait.
It won't come up again. It's pretty short, so I'll just do it. Yeah. Now I gotta find it back.
Okay.
It isn't
Damn, I'm
coming
gonna
up.
kill you. How about you just it? Okay.
Ouch.
What else we got, Vinny? I hope the granny licks her finger to turn the page. Lick that finger. There'll be
Page
an
2.
unnecessary censorship coming up. Lick that. Okay, let's see. Unnecessary censorship.
So Oro Ethan after the match and gets his ass just into the earth.
Vinny.
And Ethan is leaving, holding his all confident. And then Oro just comes back to life, and now he Ethan's ass.
Oro jumps him from behind.
Yep.
Then he beats his ass after cheap shotting the guy. Haha. That was interesting. That's quite unnecessary. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm, it is now time for your take.
Yeah, I'm obviously my two biggest issues is why anyone and whoever the promoter was that okayed or come up with the idea of putting an untrained non-wrestler in a angle in a wrestling match that it clearly wasn't like walked through, agreed upon, practice so everybody knew what was going on to be safe. Like, just, hey, there was a bit of an issue backstage with people. He seems a little bit mad. Let's do a spot in the ring with him. Like, whoever made that call has some serious answering to do. Like, how do you put a untrained, especially a non-trained MMA fighter, like he's a trained MMA fighter, non-trained pro wrestler, and go, hey, just go in and do something. And then, like, I agree with you completely. The pro wrestler that's, hey, just go get your receipt. It's like, what? Like, this guy doesn't know what that even means and comprehends. It's not go beat the guy half to death. Like, there was just, I think Tom said it best yesterday, there was just like a calamity of errors from the get-go. Like, why is this guy filming backstage? Why is this guy being told he can be in the ring? And then why is someone hyping him up to make him angry? And why would anyone allow this to ever happen? It's just ridiculous and just so unprofessional. And I would think if there's an athletic commission in California, it's like, would he not need to be licensed as a wrestler before you even send him to the ring? Does the company have a promoter's license, and should the commission be looking at that? There probably should be criminal charges at the end of this.
I would be surprised if there wasn't something. I don't know what it's going to be, but like there's so much, there's so much footage. It's like how can nothing come of this? Especially, based on if he knocked the guy out and then the guy's fine afterwards and, whatever, maybe they're just like, but the guy is in bad shape. He's still in really bad shape. He could have died. Missing teeth, choking on his blood and teeth. I mean, this is like, I guess we'll see what happens.
People die from brain trauma several days after the fact. Like, I don't know if he's even out of the woods yet.
Well, it's not even whether he dies. It's like he could have brain trauma and he's just like, he can't, work the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It's a disaster. It's horrible. All right, we're going to talk about some other news here, and then we'll, if there's anything more on this, we'll talk about it. Actually, I should mention this. This person here says he supposedly did die in the ring. So, I think, I don't know. Yes, when the thing was over, Raja goes outside. He gets a call from a guy. The guy says, you went way overboard. This guy, they can't wake him up. He's flatlined in the ring. And then, Raja goes, my bad. Let me call you back. And he gets in the car. This is his response. My bad. And I actually, the impression I got, I could be wrong. The impression I got was he wasn't like medically flatlined. It was just like he was completely out, and that was a term that the guy on the phone used. Like, we can't wake the guy out, he's flatlined. I don't think he was actually dead in the ring, but I mean, it's possittle.
But yeah, it's probably not a medical diagnosis as much as just.
That's what I think. I think it
used.
wasn't. I don't think he got like I don't think they have a machine. I don't know. I don't think he was actually flatlined, but I mean, it doesn't even matter. I mean. He basically was, they had to save his life, is what happened. So one way or the other, it's terrible. I wanted to mention this also. This is like a totally different thing, but I know people don't like criticism, but I think this new Becky Lynch heel character just sucks. I've been talking about this for a few days, and I like Becky Lynch a lot. I think she's great. And I've told this story as many times as she's told her resume. When I wrote 100 Things WWE Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die, available on Amazon.com right now.
Heck of a forward in that thing.
Yes, you wrote the forward. They were putting together the cover. And this was 2019. And the group putting together the cover, they had to decide, they say you can't judge a book by the cover, but everybody does. You got to have like a good cover. And so they chose to put Becky Lynch front and center on the cover of that book because, they determined she was the biggest star in wrestling. And there was a period in like 2019 when, people weren't into Roman Reigns and they didn't have a John Cena and Cody wasn't there. And there was a period. And it's the only time in the history of WWE there was a period where she was the biggest star in all of wrestling. She was the biggest star in all of WWE, and at that time, WWE was by far the biggest promotion in the world. She was the biggest star in wrestling. And, you know, she goes out there now as a heel, and she does this hideously annoying Miz thing. It's not good heat. It's total go-away heat for me. I got to rattle off my resume. I'm the most famous women's wrestler of all time. Sports Illustrated. I'm like, oh my God, if I hear Sports Illustrated one more time, it's like Miz talking about the main event of WrestleMania. And I just can't help but think, like, all of that stuff in your resume is true, and it was all done when you were a babyface. And the heel run here, it's like she doesn't feel like the top heel in the company. She doesn't even feel like the top heel woman in the company. I mean, Nia Jax is out there, like, beating people up in world title. She's the Intercontinental Champion. And, you know, she's feuding with, like, you know, the Bird Lady or whatever. Lyra. And, I mean, that tells you everything right there, if we're being honest. And, I mean, it's just... And then yesterday, it was like, okay, these she did it on SmackDown, and I just hated the promo. It was like, she's in Ireland. I'm going to come out, and I'm going to put over Ireland, but then it's the swerve. I'm going to turn on the people. I'm going to bury them. And, I mean, she buried him for, like, 15 minutes. I was like, I got it. You're mean. Like, dude, can we move on here? And, like, I didn't like the promo at all. It was just, like, the most old-school, cheap heat, blah, blah. So then the whole point of all of this is, now she's in Melbourne, and she's starting the same heel promo. Birmingham. And finally out comes Nikki Bella, and they go back and forth for a while. And then Becky turns on the city again, and she says the only good thing that came out of here died a month ago. But in fairness to Ozzy Osbourne, he had the good sense to move to L.A., a proper city, because if I lived in Birmingham, I'd die too. And, like, you could just hear the crowd, like, they died. They did not want to hear about the death of Ozzy. They did not want Ozzy's death used for cheap pro wrestling heat. I mean, you could just tell, like, it got the total... I mean, I don't know what reaction they thought it was going to get. Maybe they thought the people would, like, boo her out of the building, like the Drifter in Seattle that one day when he talked about the Supersonics. But it just, like, killed the crowd. And then, the next day, Kelly Osbourne, she went on her Instagram stories, and she wrote, "You're a disrespectful dirtbag. Birmingham wouldn't pee on you if you were on fire. Birmingham forever. Shame on the WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father and his home." And I can tell you, this was not like, you know, they called her and then they're kind of doing something together for, like, Kelly is not happy. And I was told WWE is embarrassed, and they're probably going to do an apology. They may not. But if you look back at how many times WWE has actually apologized for something, it ain't many. And there's discussion about, you know, doing a public apology. I know they've talked about doing a private apology. It's just like, I don't know. I don't even blame Becky. I'm sure she didn't come up with it, but she did it. And I just feel like this character, it's like the people don't want to boo Becky. She really wants to be booed for whatever reason. I guess maybe it's fun. Probably isn't fun today. And I don't know. It's just like, it feels like a total waste of her. Like, she should be top babyface, you know? I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they're not happy.
And it to me, it just feels like needlessly swimming upstream. Like, why swim so hard against the current to try to get booed? And then, again, unless you have explicit permission from the family, I think using someone's passing for cheap heat is bad. Like, dating all the way back to, you know, the Eddie Guerrero is in Hell line. How many years ago was that now? That and at least Eddie was a worker and worked in WWE, where Ozzy's a musician. It just, I don't know, it just makes wrestling feel lowbrow and cheap when they do stuff like that, and I wish they wouldn't.
So that's the update there. And when we come back, we got a little bit of other news, and we'll talk about the Raw show as well. The final show before Clash in Paris. Back in a moment. Observer Live. Granny, what's happening? What do we got for the wrestling report here today?
Talk or something.
Talk or something.
So Niven comes in, jumps on Bailey with her overweight body a couple of times, doesn't mind playing dirty, leaves Bailey on the mat in lots of pain. I found this book. It's called Limericks from the Heart.
Is this a Lanny Poffo book?
Let me finish this one. This guy's name is Lanny Poffo. And there are 335 pages in here. Can you guess what it's about?
Smoking.
Oh,
Sean
Hey,
the Wizard.
have you read it?
We read it every week for about 6 months.
When I first started.
Wow.
Why don't we start reading some questions, and we'll see if we can spur some answers out of Granny. Shall we try?
No, I don't think so.
Let's try.
Then you'll really find out how dumb I am.
Granny, did you know there was a wrestling bear?
No, and I don't care.
All right.
It's a bear that wrestled people.
I still don't care.
Okay.
Is Granny frozen?
Granny, you frozen?
No, I'm ready to read my report.
Your picture is frozen.
It is?
Yeah. Or you're doing a great job as a ventriloquist.
Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, or whatever his last name is. Paul Newman is watching this match, and he's not on
Excuse me?
Cody's side. What's the matter?
Absolutely nothing. Everything's great.
You know, Cody did say that he was looking for a manager. I think him and Paul Newman would be a
What a handsome pair.
a dashing duo.
That guy's a movie star, isn't he?
Since you're on the phone, why don't we just jump right into your wrestling report and such, and then we'll let you go and we'll do Facebook without you.
Can I lay the phone down and can you hear me?
You can try. Why don't you give it a shot?
Okay.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a disaster. I can already tell.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. That's all right, I guess.
Go ahead.
No, it's your segment. You're gonna read
Read us jokes.
or your wrestling report or whatever. I see Granny has now put the phone back up to her ear.
I'm just, for now.
Do you have the soaps or anything else, Granny, or is that it?
I want to quit for now.
Okay. Well,
No more.
instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back at the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. I hear you didn't watch Raw.
I watched a few minutes of it, but not much more than that.
Dude, you should have just fast-forwarded. They got it out of their system in that opening segment.
Yeah. For those who don't know,
Lance don't like people.
that too, but I am not a fan of the crowd singing and entertaining themselves. Going back to, I was outspoken against it back when they sang for Bailey. And I remember people saying, it's like, oh, but they're so into her. And I'm like, they sang through her promo. They didn't even listen to her. They're just entertaining themselves. And I won't blame the audience, really, because WWE encourages it. But I just don't find it entertaining. I tune into a wrestling program to see the wrestlers speak and or wrestle. And if the crowd reacts to what they're seeing by cheering, booing, or what have you, I'm cool with that. But this is not a reaction. This is a performance by the audience. and I don't buy tickets to watch an audience perform or dedicate hours of my time sitting on a couch to watch an audience perform. I found it incredibly distracting. I think it's also destructive to the show because promos that are scheduled for 12 minutes become 18, and then matches later in the show become shorter because things went too long because they had to pause and wait for the singing to ensue. So I'm not a fan of it, and I was getting very frustrated, and I texted you and expressed my views and turned the show off.
Lance, there's this thing called fast forward, for crying out loud.
There's also a thing called letting them know you don't like it by not watching.
I know, but then I have to do this report by myself. Listen, the opening segment was annoying. Not going to lie, okay? But the whole show wasn't like that. In fact, I think they sang so much of the opening, by about the second hour, they were like tired, which was
They
good.
blew up
because
and
they
couldn't make
shut
it to
up
the-
for a while. But yes, and you know, the thing with the opening segment is I'm not even mad at the fans. I've said it 1,000 times. You like, pay for your ticket, do whatever the heck you want to a degree. Like, you can't jump the rail. But if you want to sing a song and do whatever, you know. I mean, one of the... hey, listen. I was all for the fans hijacking the shows when they kept doing that stuff with Roman and nobody wanted it. At some point, it's like, dude, you gotta... But anyway, they did sing too long in the opening segment. And, you know, here's the thing. Roman could have just started talking. But, like, he sat there and he waited. And then he waited till they were done. And then they started singing another song. And he was like, all right, well, sing, guys. And he kept waiting. And it's like, dude, just start your promo, bro. And, like, just talk. And he didn't. And so he just let it go on forever. And it went on forever. And really the whole thing was just about, you know, Roman and Bronson are having a match at the show. And Bronson, I thought, actually did a really good promo. And then, like, it was over. They had a brawl. And I was like, did that need to go 23 minutes or whatever? No. It went way too long.
Because of the singing.
Yeah, because they
And
just
that
start
AJ
talking.
Styles match later in the show that wasn't all that long might have had more time if the audience hadn't sung. And like you say, the company does encourage it. They've encouraged it since they gave that Raw after WrestleMania crowd a slammy. It's been since then.
I mean, the thing is this. The guy in the ring has got a mic. You guys control the crowd noise. Like, you know, let him sing a little bit. And then when it's time, dude just talks. If you need to turn down the crowd sound a little bit, that's fine. But, like, get going. It's just like when people do the what chant, okay? Some people encourage it. Like, Jey Uso, instead of what, it's yeet. And so he encourages it with his cadence, okay? But, like, the people that don't like the, you know, the what chants or whatever, you don't pause. You keep going without a pause, and you move on to the next thing, and you don't give that moment of silence like I'm doing right there for them to start chanting what. You just keep going, and then you talk about this or that, and as long as you don't pause, there's no time for them to do their what. What? I hate that one too. But anyway, then we had JD McDonough and Dragon Lee, which was a good match. Dragon Lee actually got a win, which was astonishing. Dom hit ringside, so AJ beat him up, got rid of him. So Dragon went for the running elbow, hit the Destino, got the pin. This was a very good match. These guys worked great together. Had an LA Knight promo about the show.
Yeah.
Clash in Paris. Yeah, and he vowed to cripple everybody. Which I don't think you're supposed to say that. Actually, it was CM Punk that said that. This guy just said he was going to win the title. And he is not down with CM Punk trying to get everybody on the same page. You don't trust this guy at all. We had Rusev and Sheamus videos hyping up their Donnybrook match coming up at Clash in Paris. I thought, you know, the Rusev one was the one we seen. I mean, my God. Remember when Rusev was like, him and Lana were like a great act? And then he went to AEW and he never wrestled, but we just saw repeated video
Even
packages.
Before that, when they split Lana and Rusev in WWE, it's never been the same.
Yeah, there is a weird pixel next to my head. What is that? I got a random pixel right there. You see that, Jared? No, the other side. Right. It's like right there. What is that?
Compelling radio, dude.
Yeah, there's like right there, that red pixel. Now it's annoying. I can't not see it now. Oh, well. Anyways, the Rusev one was just generic. You know, Rusev just does promos and talks in riddles, never wrestles. So we've seen that 1,000 times. And then the Sheamus one was actually very good. Sheamus, I mean, this is the best Sheamus. I've said it before. This current old man Sheamus is the best Sheamus there's ever been. Both promos and wrestling. Had another Judgment Day meeting where Dom convinced Finn to go take care of AJ tonight. We had Penta and Kofi Kingston. And the story is Grayson Waller wants the announcers to sign a petition banning the Mexican Destroyer, which, of course, you know, that's the oldest trick in the book. So, you know, Woods is out there with a neck brace because he took the Destroyer next week. So, finally, they actually botched a couple of spots at the end. Like, Penta tried his head scissors from the apron into the ring and just, like, fell down. And then Kofi almost tore his knee out on the ropes. That didn't look good. And then Penta hit Made in Japan for 2. Flip dive onto the New Day. Went for the Destroyer. Grayson distracted. Kofi yanked him off the ropes. Hit the kick and pinned him. So New Day actually won a match. And, you know, last night on Observer Radio, Dave's like, well, you know, they always do 50-50. It was his turn. And I was like, actually, they don't do 50-50. New Day never wins. They always lose. So this was unusual. Same with Dragon Lee. He always loses. So to see them both win tonight was unusual. We had a really weird thing. Rhea's warming up. Io Sky shows up. And she says, Rhea, thank you for having my back. I respect you, but, you know, Kairi and Asuka, they're my family. They're not happy with you getting involved in our business. So I think we just need to keep our distance. And Rhea says, I respect you. I get it. I understand. And then Io gives her a big hug. And in the background, by that fallen Bigfoot, there's Asuka and Kairi, and they see the hug. So keep that in mind. We had Pierce telling Stephanie she was not getting her championship match in Paris. He needed a week to get an opponent set up for a title match. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? God.
Don't want to rush things, Brian.
Jeez. There's a pay-per-view this weekend. You can get somebody by this weekend if you wanted to. Then we had the Becky promo we talked about. Nikki and Becky for the Intercontinental title at Clash in Paris. Had a CM Punk promo. We talked about that as well. Then we had Rhea and Roxanne. A good match and clean finish. Raquel kept trying to interfere, as always happens, but she got thwarted. And then Roxanne goes for the Pop Rocks. Rhea avoids it, headbutts her, hits her with the Riptide, pins her. 1, 2, 3, clean in the middle. And then the heels start attacking Rhea. And even though 10 minutes ago, Io went up to Rhea and said, we, got to stay out of each other's business. And Rhea's like, okay. Even though that just happened, Io runs down to make the save.
She's a nice person,
She
Brian.
clears the ring, and then she celebrates and hugs. So, like, okay, that's fine. You're a nice person. Well, don't tell the person you're not going to come help him anymore. Just keep helping him. That was weird. And then Asuka was furious afterwards, chewed her out, and told her, stop talking to Rhea. Tell you about that one after the break. Brunson's all mad backstage. Seth is firing him up. They're already teasing that Braun hates this idiot, and the time's coming. He's going to kill this guy, this Seth Rollins, this clown.
Well, they do seem like they would legitimately butt heads personality-wise.
Yeah, this guy is dressing in these stupid outfits, and he's telling everybody what to do, and he's all silly. And meanwhile, Braun's just a killer, and he has to take advice from this dork. He's mad. Finn Balor and AJ Styles. This was also a very good match.
How long was it?
I'd say it was about, I don't know. I don't time the matches. But they had a fair amount of time. Not a ton, but this was when the crowd was tired. So AJ tries the calf crusher. Finn avoids it. AJ counters the counter into a Styles clash and pins him clean. No interference in this match. So, man, I was on cloud 9 at this point.
There's a lot of clean finishes on this show. I missed out.
I told you, just fast forward. Jay's talking to Roman backstage. He says, you've done enough for everybody. The family, the locker room, me, the company. You need to go out and do this for you. And Jay actually got a yeet out of Roman. Had a Bailey promo. She's being torn between Hugger Bailey and Evil Bailey. We'll see which way she goes. This has led Lyra to being very concerned. She goes, Pierce, I'm concerned about Bailey. Like, what's going on? We haven't seen her. She looks like she's losing her mind. Pierce goes, I don't know.
Well, we can hear her thoughts. They should know.
You don't know, man. Dom then shows up, and he wants something done about AJ. And so Pierce says, all right, next week in Paris, Raw, AJ and Dom, one-on-one, Intercontinental title. And Finn's in the background. He's like holding his neck or whatever, but he hears this, and he's all excited.
So apparently he can book a title match in a week.
Yeah, he found an opponent real fast. Then we have LA Knight and Braun Breaker. Good match. It is actually went, I think, through 2 commercial breaks. They had like 20 minutes. And they're doing the match. LA makes a big comeback. And, of course, hey, listen, they had clean finishes all night. Seth ran in at this point. Distracts LA. LA goes after him. Braun spears him to death as he's going around the corner. Throws him in the ring. Spears him again. Pins him. LA Knight beaten. Because Seth doesn't like this guy. Doesn't want to deal with him on Sunday.
But at least it was still a finish. It wasn't a cop-out DQ.
That's right. We didn't have any of those on the show. So the heels beat down LA afterwards. Jay's music hits. He yeets his way to the ring. They beat him up. CM Punk comes down to the ring. He helps the babyfaces make a 3-on-2 comeback against these heels. And then Seth and Braun are outside. And, Braun's all fired up. He wants to hit the ring. And Seth says, no, wait. Look what's happening. And in fact, these 3 babyfaces, they're incompetent. Can't get on the same page. They start accidentally hitting each other with moves. And everybody gets laid out, finally, by Jey Uso, who stands tall as the show goes off the air. That's the build. I thought it was a pretty good show, actually. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
Well, that was just Everyone?
you,
sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something, and it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. I looked down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in, but there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag.
Uh-oh.
So I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. And I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock.
She is so your daughter.
Crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet in El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It's never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what was going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to buy you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Lose my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided to-
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
They're like,
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
She's right.
Oh, she yells at me. So your schedule this week.
I'm free all week. We don't go to Minneapolis until a week Thursday.
Wow. What's coming up in Minneapolis?
I believe since it's a Thursday, we're doing Impact Live. We're doing a live show from Minneapolis as well as taping 3 other weeks.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. So you don't have to go every week yet?
Nope. Hoping I never do.
I guess if they listen, here's the thing. I don't think you need to go live every week, but if they go, well, we'll give you $5 million to go live 26 weeks a year, or we're going to give you $10 million to go live 52 weeks a year. It's kind of like, well, I guess we're going live every week. It's a lot of money, brother, and if that's what they want, that's what I'm guessing they're going to get. We'll see. I think we're going to know sooner rather than later the history of, or the future of TNA on television. I think it's going to be the CW, Lance.
Well, we got our Knockouts championship back.
You did, kind
Yes. No, we got the championship back.
I did. I will give them this, okay? Obviously, someone should have pinned JC, but, the fact that they didn't, I did like how the announcers were making it seem like a super big deal that it's 2 TNA wrestlers now fighting for that TNA title. Like you're supposed to forget that, well, neither of them have the title. But that's what they did. The 2 TNA wrestlers fought for the TNA title, and one of them won it. So, Trick better do this job. You hear me? He better do this job, Lance. You don't want that wrath from me here. We're out of time, everybody. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks, Lance, as always. Callers and listeners in the studio. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.